Are you wondering how to increase sales volume for service-based businesses? Well, you are in luck because that's exactly what our caller is asking about today.
Hi, Amy. This is Lisa. I'm a massage therapist based out of Phoenix. I want to increase my sales, but I also recognize that there are only so many hours in a day that I can physically work with my clients. How do I get sales up?
Lisa, that is such a great question. And this is so relevant for so many of our service-based business owners. It's that always the question of time versus money. And how do you figure out how to grow money exponentially when you have an infinite amount of hours in every day? So I'm excited to jump in and give you some insights here. This is something I've actually done and helped several of my clients with. So we're going to go over a few specific things. There's about three different models that you can use to increase your service-based business. So I'll show you what those three are. And then if you stick with me, I'm also going to give you some specific examples of how we've helped our clients to be able to do this. All right, so let's just jump right into it. The first way that you can increase sales is by increasing price. And you might think, I don't know, I am a massage therapist. The going rate is this. Can I really charge double that? The answer is yes. I have a client who does massage therapy based out of Southern Utah, and he charges about $250 an hour, which is double the rate in his area. And he is always booked up. Why? Because he's really, really specialized and really great at what he does and uses a methodology that's different from everyone else. So you have to create perceived differentiation. I have another client who's an orthodontist based out of Tampa, and he is the celebrity orthodontist in his town. He's the high-end experience. So he charges higher rates than all of the other doctors in his town because he's created this exclusivity feel, this brand that's a very high-end premium brand. So that is absolutely possible, and one of the things that you can do in a service-based business, but it also is still going to have that feeling of having a cap. And you're going to be increasing prices every single year if that's going to be your strategy. So I would recommend mixing that strategy with one of the other strategies if you really want to maximize and be able to always create growth. So the second strategy that you can use to grow your service-based business is focused around re-enrollment, re-engagement with your current customers. So instead of trying to get new customers and increase through that volume, you're going to be trying to increase by raising the amount of money that each of your customers spends with you per year. This doesn't necessarily solve the time problem directly because you still only have this certain amount of hours in a week that you can be hands-on serving your customers. But what it does is it decreases your marketing and sales cost of time. So you're not going to have to spend as much time working on bringing in new people because what you're doing is you're investing your time into creating a great strategy for being able to get your patients or clients to customers to come back more often. So it's not totally solving the problem, but I promise it does help, and it's going to alleviate some of that friction you feel with running out of time. So I'm using this strategy right now with one of my clients. They are a functional medicine practice based out of Murray, Utah. And last year we helped them grow. Their target goal was like 1.3 million in sales. We helped them surpass that and go to 2.1 million in sales by doubling the amount of customers that they had. And then this year, as we were looking at growth, we didn't want to have to increase the expenses of getting, more staff and more team members involved. And so we thought, what can we do that's going to give us the highest level of profitability? We also didn't want to increase marketing costs again. And we also wanted to just give them a little bit more of a peaceful flow. So what we've done is we've integrated a care maps plan where we're looking at what is the best care that we can give for the patients, and we're trying to move them deeper into the service line. And so if we can increase, this is a really cool thing, if we could take the same number of patients that they saw last year, but we could increase the amount that they spend by one additional service per year, it will actually take their revenues up to 3 million this year. So that's another strategy that you can use, is look at how can I deepen the level of service that I provide. And it doesn't have to be like you're doubling the amount that they spend. Sometimes it's just like an extra appointment a year makes a huge difference in your bottom line. And then you're not having to spend the time that it takes to get a new person in, to, get them converted, to get them coming back. You're really working with your loyal customer base, which is the easiest base to pull from. The third strategy that you can use is actually to get more service providers working with you. And that's going to allow you to be able to expand the number of people that you can serve. So my client that I mentioned, that's the massage therapist, he was booked so many months in advance that he really couldn't get people in. So he increased his prices. He was very much at the top end, but he needed something beyond that. So we did something really cool. We helped him to implement an apprenticeship program where people would pay to apprentice with him, learn his methodology, and then they could come and work inside of his practice. So now he could see more people because he had others to help with it. And you are not making as much per visit because now you're paying out a fee for the fulfillment, but you're still pricing yourself so that you make profit off of the top of each appointment. So instead of, and you might look at this and go, man, that stinks, only earning 15% profit instead of earning, 40% profit, but it's the 15% that you would not have otherwise because you do not have time to see them. This allows you to be able to continue to market, continue to bring in new people, and continue to expand your service-based business. Now, if you're wondering, how do I even get to that point where I have so many clients that I'm not sure how to take care of them? I highly recommend our Sales and Marketing GPS. It's an assessment that you can take that's going to analyze where you're at with your sales and marketing, show you what the gaps are so we can tighten up that process. I guarantee you that if you have a really dialed in sales and marketing process, that's going to save you time as well, so that now you have more hours to spend with your clients. Okay, so we have 2 more strategies that I'm going to share with you. And then again, I'm trying to use a lot of real life examples so you can get ideas for how this would fit for you. The next strategy is to sell packages or concierge services. This is going to help you be able to find ways to add value to your clients that does not involve your time. And I truly feel like this is essential. So packages, you can stack the package price. And people, by the way, we like to buy in packages because we feel like we're getting a deal. It has this perceived value thing. And I'm not suggesting that you lower your hourly rate when you sell a package, because then you're still just making less and it's still taking the same amount of time. What I'm suggesting is that you stack your packages with things that don't take a lot of time. So I went to a spa one time. I took some of my clients on a retreat and I took them to a day spa. And in this day spa, they sold packages. And so the packages involved the basics of massage and facials. But then they had these machines. Like one of them you could stand on and it would just jiggle you around for 5 minutes. And then they had another one that was like a foot bath, and it was an ion foot bath, and they'd put your feet in and then your water would turn orange. It was very disturbing. But it had to do with detoxifying you. And they just had some things that were, tools that they had in place that made you feel like you were getting more a sauna, right? It doesn't take anyone's time to have a sauna. So these things can be expenses up front, but they can really add value into the experience. The other thing that you can do to add value is you can create things that are like training videos, tools, resources, guides, dietary plans, things that you spend time to produce once. They're intellectual assets. You produce them once, and then it benefits every single patient, client, customer through the end of time. So we want to look for ways that we can build the value up, put it in a package. It doesn't lower a price. It doesn't take more time, but it adds. So instead of people paying, $150 per appointment, now they're willing to pay $1,500 for a package that's going to give them more of a total care experience. The other twist for this is concierge services. So this is where people pay extra just to have premium benefits, like a specialty parking spot when they come in, like a backdoor entrance where the celebrities come in, and a private room where nobody has to see them getting their services done, like being able to have top priority on your schedule so they don't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks, but they can get in that week. You reserve some spots just for your concierge clients. So that's another way that you're still selling packages because you're selling the concierge package. Now, the last strategy that you can do is something that is hot and trending right now, and it can be really good for you, but it is not for every service-based business owner. So this is coursifying. So taking everything that you know and putting it into a course that people can purchase to give them a DIY option of your service. Here's where I like this and here's where I don't. If you are so passionate about your service and that is what you love to do, you might find yourself really hating your course because you're gonna have to spend a lot of time to produce it, you're gonna have to spend money to market it, and you're gonna have to spend time to sell it. And if all of those things make you feel like you're taking time away from doing the thing that you love, then I would scale your sales through one of the earlier strategies. But if you're like, you know what, really, I don't want to be hands-on forever. I'd really love to be able to create a way to provide my service and earn money like well through retirement, then I definitely recommend coursifying or productifying, productizing, that's the word. So I was just recently talking with a interior designer, and this interior designer earns a good design fee when she does a home remodel, but she also earns quite a bit on product sales. So when she picks the couch, when she picks the, shelving, when she picks all of the stuff that goes in, she gets a percentage that is based on the products that she has sold from the manufacturers themselves. And as I was hearing this, I was like, ding, 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 ding. Here's how we can productize this service-based business. Because she doesn't necessarily want to work forever. She's definitely got some more years in her. But what we can do is we can take the service that she's currently providing and we can use that to create content. So for example, if she's doing a room that has 2-story foyers and nobody knows what to do with those 2-story foyers, speaking from experience, I have no idea what to put on those massive walls. So then she can go and share the design strategy, show the step-by-step, show the before and after. I mean, don't we all love watching stuff like that? And then she can have a list to her website to show all of the things that she used in that space, in that room. Now she can sell the products through her website and use it based on the content she created from the service. This is a really good strategy for this particular client because she has no desire at all to become an online influencer and just spend time creating content to then sell products. She loves working with her clients. That's what she loves to do. That's her passion, the art, the creativity. So what she can do is simply hire an assistant to help with all of the production of the content. She does her work. The assistant helps create the content while she's doing her work, and then the assistant can help get things set up to drive traffic to the sales. That's a really simple model and can increase income and create longevity because those videos, once you put them up on YouTube, they really do live forever. And I have people reaching out and finding my videos that I filmed 2 years ago. So that's a good strategy. My tip with this last one is it can create a lot of financial freedom, but you really need to do it in a way that works for you. And where online courses are so trendy right now, I find that there's a lot of people just saying, just create a course, just create a course. Well, in the same day that I was talking with that business owner, I was also talking with another business owner that does media. And so she runs a TV show. She has people come on her TV show and they pay her for media training, and then they get the spot on her show, and then she produces the sizzle reel for them, and they have the things and the training and the tools that they need to go get themselves booked on more media. And so someone was like, you should coursify. So she created this course, and now she's spending all of her time trying to sell a course where she doesn't actually do hands-on media training, which is what she loves. And she feels like she's spending all of her time selling and marketing, which is not what she loves. So we have to figure out the way for you to do this in order for it to feel in alignment and for you to be like truly happy with it. So there you have it. Those are the different strategies that you can use. Now, I've used these types of strategies with so many different service-based business owners, insurance agencies, health and wellness clinics. I've used it with coaches. I've used it with construction companies. So these really do work across the board. I tried to give you a lot of examples today, but if you're like, I'm just still needing a little bit more information on how this can work for my business, my best advice for you is take the Sales and Marketing GPS. Because when you do, I'm going to get the results, and me and my team are going to customize a report for you and your business. And we'll even get on the phone and talk it through with you if that's something that you want to do. So if you are digging these tips and this is really making sense to you, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content. All right, now you know how to increase sales volume for a service-based business. The next video that I want you to watch is how to start a sales call over the phone. Thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video.